Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm excited to do because I'm going to be ranking all of the highlighters in my collection, and I somehow have 20 highlighters. This coming from a girl who is not even wearing highlighter today. I still have 20 highlights in my collection. This is part of my ranking series that I do on my channel, so I already have bronzers and also blushes that are already up. Today we are going through highlighters. I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my top favorite. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, welcome. So I always start off my videos with an outfit of the day. So today I have on some slides I got from Amazon. My shorts are from Target. My shirt says out of order. I got this from like, I want to say Forever 21. I don't know, 5 years ago. I've had it for a very long time. This is the shirt that I wear when I'm not feeling well, to let people know that I'm not feeling well, I'm not feeling it, I'm out of order. And that is me today. I have received the news that I probably need a root canal. And I am unwell. I am unwell at that thought. So I have been in a pure state of panic all day. So that's where I'm at. So my mouth is in pretty considerable pain. It's very hard for me to talk. So I just finished filming my Willy Bite for the week, which is typically a longer video. So I was talking quite a bit. So my mouth is pretty sore right now. I'm in quite a bit of pain, but I am going on a vacation. So I'm trying to pre-film, so I have everything up for while I am gone. My dog is right next to me because she knows I'm very upset today. I got a temporary crown last week, and it's been so, like, the pain is waking me up in the middle of the night. It's so painful. So I went in today, and I probably have to have a root canal when I get home. So not pleased, not good, but we are going to try to make it through this video. But that is why I'm wearing my out of order shirt, because I do not feel well, and if it seems like I don't feel well in this video, I definitely don't. But I've been having so much fun doing my ranking series, and I really wanted to keep filming for the series. I'm trying to do these weekly. Like I said, bronzers are already up, blushes are already up, and I was really looking forward to doing my highlighter. So I thought, instead of wallowing and keep Googling how painful is a root canal, like, let's talk about makeup and older makeup in my collection too, and just have some fun with it. I do always link everything that I'm wearing in my description box, including all of my makeup. I did film this eye look, and it will be coming up in a video very soon. But I've been talking on my channel about how I'm trying to use up some of my older products, show more love to them in my collection, not buy as much new. And highlighter is a product for me that I'm just not wearing a lot. Like I said, I don't have highlighter on today. It's often a step that I just keep skipping, not because I don't necessarily like highlighter or how it looks on me. I'm just kind of like, that's just how I feel. I feel like I'm pretty overwhelmed right now with the new makeup releases, with how much I have in my collection, with all of the new. I'm just kind of feeling very like when it comes to that, and I don't know if that has anything to do with the highlight, but that's just how I feel when I get to the highlight step. I'm like, I'm good. I put everything else on my face, like, I'm good. But when I was pulling out all of my highlights, I still had 20, and I was kind of surprised. I was thinking I maybe had between like 10 and 15, so I wasn't super far off by any means, but still 20, that's a lot for me. I like to do the ranking series in the more in the summertime. And then I do a declutter series at the end of the year, and the ranking series really helps show me what I can get rid of, what my collection is actually looking like. It gives me a good picture of it. It also tells me, is there anything that I want to be trying right now in the next few months to see if I want to declutter them. And I feel like highlights is definitely going to be one where I am going to be chopping a lot from my collection. But to jump into it, starting at the bottom, number 20, I have from Melt Cosmetics, and this is their Sex Foil, and this is in the shade Stargazer. I was really sad about this product because I bought it because a lot of people were hyping it up. I will say I bought this product where I would consider the start of me not being as much into highlighter came into play. So that could definitely have something to do with it. It was a more expensive product. You get a lot in here. You get 1 fluid ounce. It's like a foundation of highlight, which you don't need that much. And this was just one that I felt like I had to apply. Well, speaking of, I felt like you had to apply a lot of this one in order for it to show at all. And even still, it's not that it was just natural looking, because I feel like I started to gravitate towards a natural highlight as well. But it was just one where it was like, I can't see any. Like right now, I could have on this highlight. You probably wouldn't be able to know. Like, that's how I feel like it seemed. And I was like, why do I just have to keep sitting here like building, and just nothing's really happening? So since I bought this, I gave it a few tries, I reviewed it, and then it's just been sitting in my collection. At number 19, I'm gonna have a few different products from Colourpop throughout here, but I wanted to kind of separate them. And part of the reason was because at number 19, I have the Moon Peach Super Shock Highlight. This is a pearlized finish. I don't know, that's everything that it says on here. But this, to me, this came out in, was the Avatar collection. It's so hard to keep up with all the makeup, but especially just Colourpop on its own. It's so hard to keep up with all of them. But this one is a very interesting shade because it's kind of more like peachy, but it has some blue to it as well. I don't know if you can see like this blue shift to it. And I like the Colourpop Super Shocks, but again, it's why I was trying to break some of these down too by the separate shades. And it's just funny to me because when I was wearing this, you can kind of see the blue, right? My friend Angie was here and I was testing out the collection and I put this on and we were standing in my bathroom together and she looks at me and she goes, "Are you wearing a blue highlight?" Because that's not really a me thing. I wear a lot of like champagne and gold and like pinky highlights are about the craziest that I get. She's like, "You wearing a blue highlight?" And I was like, "Is it blue?" And I was like going like this and like trying to see this shift in the mirror. And then we actually had a dinner party that night at another content creator's house, Michelle Wong. We were standing there and Annette's makeup corner was standing next to me and she goes, "Are you wearing a blue highlight?" And I was like, "I'm never wearing this highlight again." That's been decided. Like, blue highlight is not for me. And it's not that Angie or Annette were saying anything negative. I think they both were just like surprised that Samantha March was wearing a blue highlighter, but I was like, nope, this one's not gonna be for me. So it's mostly just a shade thing. Again, I like the Colourpop Super Shock shadows. If you like something that has more of that shiftiness to it, it's just not really my personal vibe for highlights. At number 18, I'm very sad about this one because I like this brand. Some could even say I love some products from this brand, but this one, I'm sad about it. This is from Dior and this is the Backstage Glow Face Palette. All right, so again, in the product's defense, I don't really purchase highlight palettes all that much anymore. I don't find them to be like a good value for my money. I'm wearing highlights so less, like to buy something with 4 highlights, like I knew what I was doing. Not only did I buy this, I bought a single highlight in the same order from the same brand, okay? Like there was clearly a point of time where I had lost my mind over makeup releases, and that's why we're reeling it back in right now. We are reeling it back in and we are cutting back on makeup purchases because like, why? Why? We have the 4 shades and they are all really pretty. There's sometimes where I use this as like a blush topper to give a more shimmery blush. I've tried to use this as like more of like a shimmery bronzer. That's pretty. I've tried to use them on the eyes, but all in all, it was a more expensive face palette. It's got the 4 highlights in here, and this one is just collecting dust in my collection, and I feel very silly about it. Again, a lot of that is on me. Like, I have to be taking responsibility in this video. I probably shouldn't have bought it. I just was caught up in the Dior moment. At number 17, again, this product I don't think is bad. I think a lot of people really like this, but it's gonna be a shade thing for me. This is from Kaleidos. This is their Space Age highlighter in Sky Walker. So this one is more of like your kind of like, what do I want to say, like fluorescent green-ish type highlighter. Again, it's just not going to be my particular vibe. You can see it's kind of like green, a little bit of like this purple shift here. It's just not something that I wear a whole lot for myself. Again, it's pretty. I know a lot of people like these. A lot of the Kaleidos highlighters are a little bit more like on the out there side, if you will. It's just, I'm not the biggest fan personally for my makeup preferences. And number 16, again, a more expensive highlighter that I'm just like, this to me is not worth the money. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Hollywood Superstar Glow highlighter. You know, this is what the highlight looks like. I mean, it's very large, which is fantastic. And it's a pretty highlight. It's a little bit more on that pinky side. And when I bought it and I was trying it out, I think I had this feeling of wanting so badly to love it and to have it be worth the higher price tag. And I just couldn't get there. I just couldn't get all the way. And then again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record in this video, but we're talking all about highlights. I'm just not wearing highlights all that much. This is definitely just sitting there. I can't even remember the last time that I pulled this out and used it, and I'm very sad about that because it's definitely not a cheap product. At number 15, we have the other Dior highlighter that I bought from that exact same haul. This is their Dior Forever Couture Luminizer, and this is in Nude Glow. Definitely, I could have just bought this one, and I would have been perfectly content to have. I bought the Dior bronzer at the same time, a single bronzer, this highlight. Like, I definitely did not need to purchase the highlight palette. This, again, It's a really pretty highlight. It's more natural on the skin, which I do enjoy. It kind of gives you more of that natural glow from within. It's just nothing that turned into an absolute standout to me that I was like, this was definitely worth the Dior price tag. I like the compact on it. I think it looks chic. I like that this is more of like a shiny finish, and then the bronzer is more of a matte finish. I store my bronzers and my highlights in different places, so I wouldn't get them mixed up, but if like I was taking them traveling, I'd be like, oh, I know which one. Just like the little things. It's the little things with the packaging that counts, but again, it's just not a favorite. At number 14, this one is newer to me, and it's pretty. It's a pretty stack. This is from Kaja Beauty. I like a lot from Kaja, but again, this is an all highlight stack, and you can use it. It's makeup. You can use it however you want it, okay? You can use it on the body, you can use it on the eyes if you want to, but again, when it comes down to it, I just don't need something like this. I did get this in PR, so I didn't purchase it myself. This middle shade here is what I've used for highlight the most, and it is really pretty. And again, it's a little bit more on that, you can kind of tell there, like it's a little bit more on the natural side. It's not quite as like va va boom. So I have to build it up a little bit. This shade here is a little bit too dark for my face. Again, I could use it on my eyes if I really wanted to. And the top is a more like pressed glitter shade, which as I have pressed glitter on my eyes today, I don't wear pressed glitter all that often. I've seen people use this on their face and do like almost like a mermaid style look, which looks very cool. Just again, not my personal preference. If it would have came with just the single, I think I would have been super happy, super pleased with it, but a trio, it's just like, how often am I really gonna reach for this? I feel like so far I've just been talking about like how to talk you out of buying highlighters. At this moment, I'm like, wow, I feel like I sound so negative to start off this video. I'm so sorry. We got a root canal, we got all these highlighters that I don't love. Like, wowzers. I hope this is not your first video. If it is, remember, out of order. I gave you the warning. Number 13, I have from Natasha Denona. This is the I Need a Nude Glow highlight. I was super sad about this one because you're gonna see another Natasha. If you are a longtime Sam Squad member, you know what's going on. You know what direction we're going. But I love another highlighter from Natasha, so when she came out with this one, I was like, why not purchase another highlighter? Why do we have these thoughts as makeup? It was like, I could have been perfectly fine with the highlight that I had known and loved for years, but something new and shiny comes out, and I'm like, might as well spend my money on that. Why not? Not great. And this one, again, it's pretty, it's more gold. It's fine. It's fine. This one to me is a little bit more powdery than the other one from Natasha that you're gonna see. I don't feel like it gave as much of this glow to the cheeks. It was just kind of like, okay, you put a powder on your cheeks and now you're slightly glowier. Amazing. Next up, this is a bit of a newer product. I just reviewed this one in my most recent Makeup Monthly, my monthly faves and fails, and I put it on the lower end of that video, but there was more in there that I was excited about, and it was all different categories of makeup. And when it came to highlights, like I said, the one from Merit Beauty, I don't think is a bad product. It's just highlight is not a category I'm wearing a lot right now. I really didn't feel like I could rank it higher than some that I was putting into the top spot. So from Merit, this is their Citrine Day Glow, and it's a pretty highlight. This is gonna be one that's more good for if you do like a more natural looking highlight. It never looks like too, I wanna say like stark on the cheeks, like you don't have like that powder stripe. It's easy to blend in. If you like that more natural highlight, I think that this would be a good option for you. Broken record, just not wearing highlight all that often. And then at number 11, I have from Auric. This is their Glow Lust. So I kind of went back and forth on if I was gonna put this one in here because this is kind of a multi-use product. I have worn it as a primer. I have worn it mixed in with like a more full coverage foundation, but I would say the use that I get the most out of this has been as a liquid highlight. I would say either liquid highlight or a primer. It's hard to say, but I decided I don't have that many highlights, so I decided to include it in here. And then the shade that I have that I use the most is in Morganite. Again, I did get this in PR from Auric, and I was really excited about it. And again, it is a pretty product. You just need like the smallest amount. Honestly, these could, in my opinion, as someone who doesn't wear highlight a lot, these could have been like cut in half, and I think that would have been good. But you can see, this got compared to the Charlotte Tilbury quite a bit the Flawless filter, and I did a comparison myself, and I said I liked this way more because it looks more natural. The Charlotte Tilbury to me gave me almost like that tin look to my face. This looks very natural to where I can wear this all over and then with some concealer and powder, and it's just gonna give me a more glowy look. I can mix it in with the full coverage foundation. I can wear it as a highlight, and it's just going to give a beautiful natural glow. So I really like it for those reasons. At number 10, I have another one from Colourpop. This is their Super Shock highlighter in Flip Flop. So this is technically a Super Shock. It's just in a different packaging than the normal Super Shocks that we see. This one is another one that's really pretty, but it is very easy to go overboard with it. But if you are wanting like a really pop-in highlight, this is pretty to use. I have also used this on my eyes. I mean, again, it's makeup. You can use it however you want. I've used this a bit on my eyes and even as like an inner corner and a brow bone highlight, and I thought all of that was really pretty. So again, I'm a big fan of the Colourpop Super Shocks, and I have even more that I'm going to have coming up that I like even more than this. At number 9, I have from Lawless Beauty. This is their Afternoon Delight Lucid Skin Highlighter. This is a pretty highlight, and this kind of reminds me to pull this one back out. You can see the L and the A. I mean, the L is gone, the A is basically gone, and then we get to this, and that's all we have left. Just so this one is more of a golden highlight. This is one of those that to me was a more natural lit from within glow that I first started to like, because for a while I was on the stripe, the blinding highlight that you can see me, my highlight from across the room. I feel like this was one of those that when I put it on, I was like, oh, I kind of like that look too. This was kind of one of those like originals for me that were that way, but this is a really pretty highlight, one that I still continue to like from Lawless. At number 8, I have from Benefit. This is the Cookie Highlight. A lot of people lost their minds over this cookie highlight. I still don't like the packaging on this. Even to swatch it, it is so hard, and I have longer nails. Like, I feel like I have to like swatch it with my knuckle here because it is so hard to swatch it. But you can see it's very pretty. It has more of this pinky shift to it, and there are quite a few shades of the Benefit highlighters. I liked the more pinky tone. There was a while there where I was really just reaching for the pinky highlights. It's really pretty. It never became like a tippy top favorite of mine, but still it's coming in within the top 10. I think that's pretty good. At number 7, I have from Sigma. This is one of their newer-ish products, and they came out with single highlighters. I do have a few different shades. This one in here is in Golden Hour, and something about this gold, at first I thought it was going to be too golden on my skin, but it's such a silky, smooth highlight. And once again, just a very, I want to say the word smooth again, like natural and smooth on the cheeks. I think it's really pretty. Again, use this on my eyes as well. I was really impressed with these singles that Sigma just released. I'm affiliate with them, and my code is Samantha. At number 6, I have from Ofra Cosmetics. This is their liquid highlighter, and I use the shade Monroe. I have not heard a lot of people talk about this, but the people that I hear talk about it absolutely love this highlighter, and I feel like I'm one of those. I feel like I'm someone who doesn't talk about it all that often because, take a drink if you heard me say this. My dog, did you hear my dog let out a sigh? She's like, I know what you're gonna say. I haven't been wearing highlight as much, but when I reviewed this one a while ago, I had really high remarks to say about it. It is quite pretty, and I shouldn't be surprised because Ofra does highlights so well. When I asked people in, I think it was my oldest makeup that I have in my collection video, I said, what was your first highlight? So many people said Ofra Cosmetics. I feel like they were really one of the OGs in that really blinding highlight stage for sure. But their liquid highlighters, I feel like still give you that, but they just come across as a little bit more on the natural side too. And I mean, I used way too much. I pumped out way too much, but they are just stunning. So I think that these are really gorgeous. They have a handful of different shades in these too. Again, the shade that I feel like was closest to me is in Monroe. I'm also an affiliate with Ofra, and my code is Samantha. At number 5, I have my personal first highlighter. This is from the Balm, and this is the Mary Luminizer. Even though I'm not wearing highlight as much recently, I still have continued to keep around the Mary Luminizer. I probably bought this in like 2016 or 2017. It was a hot minute ago. I was just wearing this the other day actually because I did film a video of a lot of old makeup on my face that will be coming soon. I think that will be Tuesday's video. And she's Mary Luminizer. Like, how do you get rid of Mary Luminizer? She's just so cute. One day I'm gonna hit pan in it. That's like me saying I'm gonna go back to my dentist for the 2 other crowns they want me to have. At number 4, I have some more Super Shock highlights from Colourpop, and I decided to put all these together because I feel like these are the ones that I like the most, and I kind of alternate between all of these. I think my oldest one in here is on the Cusp. I think I've had this one the longest, but who remembers Flexitarian? I kind of can't believe I don't have Flexitarian in my collection anymore. I decluttered that at some point, but Flexitarian was like my OG Super Shock highlight from Colourpop. So there is on the Cusp. It's a little bit more of like that champagne-y color, but then Seismic came out with the That's Taupe. I was gonna say Going Coconuts, but I'm pretty sure, see, trying to keep track of all of these, I'm pretty sure it was That's Taupe that it came out with, because I loved that collection, and this highlight, I was like, what? Like, so stunning. I think Seismic is still my favorite. Yeah, it's still my favorite Colourpop highlight that I have in my collection. But then most recently in the Winnie the Pooh collection, I was very impressed with their highlighters. This one here is in Asher Wood. I have run out of fingers to swatch, so we're just doing a nice thumb swatch. That's interesting. So this one to me, so this one is going to be more on your like yellow golden side, but when I was doing the really yellow eye looks, this one was definitely very pretty to match with that without being too overwhelming, but also very pretty on the eyes. I've used this as a single shadow as well, and I thought it was so pretty. But still from Colourpop, my favorite is going to be Seismic, followed by On the Cusp. But their Super Shock highlights I still think are great. I actually have a Super Shock bronzer on today. I really enjoyed the Super Shock blushes, but I still think the highlights and the blushes, it's so hard to say. Maybe the highlights are still my favorite. That's a hard decision though. Coming in at number 3, I have another one from Ofra Cosmetics. This one is a special one to me. This is the collaboration that I did with them, and this is in Start Inspired. Usually for these videos, I've been showing my like pretty new highlights that I have, that I kind of have for these purposes of showing in videos, but I thought it would be fun to show my like original highlight that I was using, because I don't know if you can see that I have pan right there. You can see the bottom of the compact, and then there's a pretty big dip in this piece of the pink as well. But this was this my first highlight that I feel like this is my first highlight that I ever hit pan on, which was quite exciting. But when I got to team up with Ofra Cosmetics for Project Influencer, we took 2 of my favorite highlights, Star Island and also Pillow Talk, and we put them together in here, and we made our own highlight, which I called Start Inspired. It's the name of my podcast. It's a big part of my brand, and I absolutely loved it. I was able to then go on and create another collection with them, and then a second collection with them where I was actually designing my own products and my own shades. And in the second collection, we did the Dream Chaser highlight, which I absolutely love as well. So those are, where did I put it? So these are my highlight collaborations with Ofra Cosmetics, and I just love them both. I thought it'd be so fun to show the Start Inspired. I think you can see it maybe better in that light right there where the pan is, and then I have my pretty Dream Chaser to show in the video. But both of these are still available on ofracosmetics.com, and again, my code is Samantha with these. So if you are still loving, you know, a more blinding highlight, I think these are a great option for you. I wore Start Inspired the other day because I did do a little bit of Star Island on my inner corner and also my brow bone highlight, and I think that it's beautiful for that as well. But still 2 highlights that I'm very proud of. At number 2, I have from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand Easy Highlighter. There's always like 1,000 names with the Charlotte Tilbury products, I've realized through the ranking series, but this was an original favorite of liquid products for me. I did not think I was going to enjoy it. I believe I tried it for the first time on camera, and I was super shocked at how easy this was to use, and it still remains a favorite of mine. It is a more pinky highlight. Like you can see right here, you just need a little bit. It blends out easily. A lot of times with the Charlotte products, I say it's like you but better. It just enhances your natural beauty, and that's exactly what I think about the Easy Wand highlights. This one is pretty empty. I should honestly just repurchase another one because it's kind of crusty at this point. I've had it for a while, but I think that it is so beautiful. And then at number 1, like I mentioned, you're going to see Natasha Denona. I feel like I still had to give it to her. I feel like I still had to give it to the Natasha Denona, the Super Glow. This was one of my first favorites from Natasha, and it's just beautiful. This was one of those that was first being described as like glass skin, and I was like, what? And what does that mean? And I remember I spent a lot of money on this highlight, and I was like, am I going to regret this? And then I just continued to wear it. This is one, like, I know it's a lot of highlight, but I still am like, how did I not hit pan? Because for so long I just kept wearing this over and over and over and over again. It's so beautiful. I'm definitely re-inspired right now to pull this out of my collection. I feel like maybe wearing some of these older highlights that I've loved throughout the years and have continued to stay with me, or that I collaborated with myself and I'm so proud of, like, maybe these are the ones that I need to pull out instead of trying the new ones and buying the new ones. Like, I'm just gonna pull these out and play with them, and maybe that will inspire me to start wearing highlight again, right? Because man, she was a pretty one. This was the Super Glow in Fair is the one that I have. I know there was a few different options, but still had to give it to Natasha and put it in the top spot. But other than that, that is it for today's video, ranking all the highlights in my collection from 20 to 1. I would love to know, what do you have? What is your favorite highlight? Also, let me know what you want to see coming up next in my ranking series. We're going to be doing this weekly for quite some time until we get through all of the different categories. So I hope you are enjoying this series. If you are, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.